Is a narcissist aware that their behaviour is wrong? Are they aware that they've hurt another person? When it comes to a narcissist, they feel entitled to do as they please, and they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour might affect you or those around them. They only have the self-serving empathy to care for how other people's judgment, other people's perception might affect themselves, which is why you will find when a narcissist is caught out on their behaviour, they're either going to go into the victimhood of how it was all somebody else's fault, because narcissistic people don't do responsibility, they do shifting the blame. They're going to go into that self-righteousness of how the other person deserved whatever it is the narcissist did to that other person. The hero of how they tried absolutely everything they could think of, but that other person just didn't appreciate them, just wasn't there for them. The narcissist projection, as they claim that nothing was to ever be good enough for the other person, when in reality nothing is ever good enough for a self-righteous narcissist. Or they play the martyr of how they are the one who is putting the world to rights and helping everybody else out and doing people a favour. Whether narcissistic people are aware or not depends on the narcissist that you are dealing with. Some are more cerebral, the more intellectual. So they're grandiose and they plot and they plan what they are doing, and it's coming from conscious thought. They make a decision and they act on that decision, and then they figure out a way to get away with it afterwards. And they are very well aware of what they are doing to other people, yet they write it into their own mind as to why they are just in doing that to other people, why they're entitled. The world revolves around them. They feel entitled to do as they please, and if that affects you, that's your problem, not theirs. So some narcissistic people, it's intentionally done. They're very well aware of what they are doing to you and to those around them. They simply lack the empathy to care. They're just willing to exploit people and feel entitled to have everything their own way. Other narcissistic people aren't aware. It's coming from their own subconscious programming of that is how life works for them. They are the victim in the story, or they're the hero in the story. Their mindset is programmed into a way of how it's always somebody else's fault, or how they did everything they possibly could. It is coming from their subconscious thought, however, so they're not particularly aware of what they're doing or why it's wrong. They just believe that other people's judgment of them is in the wrong. Other people's perception of them is in the wrong. They've learned to lie in so many different ways to get the attention that they believe that they are entitled to receive from other people. They don't believe they should have to take responsibility. Responsibilities are for people lesser than them. Responsibilities are for other people to deal with, and if the other people don't want to deal with them, that's the other person's fault, not the narcissist. So when it comes to a narcissistic person who isn't aware of what they are doing, they make a decision, they act upon that decision, and then they figure out how to get away with it afterwards, usually by lying. They don't seem to be able to understand why lying is wrong. Yes, we can all tell white lies. Toddlers are very good at lying when they don't want to get into trouble, when they want to get away with something. Some toddlers will be honest. Other toddlers are very good at lying, as that helps them get away with something. And some toddlers will learn over time what lies work for them, what lies benefit them, which does program their subconscious mind into getting away with things. When it comes to a narcissistic person, we can often want to know whether they are aware, because we believe that if they're aware, we can explain it into a different way, help them see the error of their ways, and help them live a better life, which also works in our favour because they stop hurting us. However, with a narcissist, they take great offence to you calling them out or trying to save them or trying to help them. They will use you wanting to save them, you wanting to help them as an advantage point to manipulate you, to get their needs met by you. However, they don't want you getting too close to the truth because they don't want to lose the power that they have over you. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, you trying to help them, explain to them, only works in the narcissist's favour. They just learn ways to manipulate better. They just learn ways to exploit better. Because whether they are aware or not, they simply do not see themselves as the problem. They do not see themselves as the issue. They just rewrite it within their own mind as how they're doing the world a favour, how everybody is out to get them, how nobody appreciates them, how everyone is attacking them, how they were doing somebody else a favour, how they're doing the right thing. So a narcissistic person will fail to take responsibility for their own children, yet find a way to blame the ex. So it's a win-win for a narcissist because they can ruin the ex's reputation, they can discredit the ex, while the narcissist laps up the sympathetic attention from those around them. And they don't care. They do not care. They don't have the empathy. They only have the self-serving empathy to tell the story in a manner that works in the narcissist's favour. If they are aware and you explain it to them, they're not interested. They just look at new ways to get one over on you. If they are unaware and you explain it to them, they're not interested. They just look at ways to manipulate you. So whether or not a narcissist is aware or not, they lack the empathy to care for you. You can't help people who are unable or unwilling to help themselves. And when it comes to a narcissist, they're unable and unwilling to help themselves. They're only willing to help themselves to your stuff, to help themselves to your supply, to help themselves to your sympathetic attention, to help themselves to your financial resources, to help themselves to your home, your friends, your family, your hobbies. They are not willing to help themselves become a better person. We all do things in life that we later down the line regret, and we have to learn how to live with that in a way that we don't live with the regret, which is usually by learning from our experience and not repeating toxic behaviour. Narcissistic people just learn how to get away with their behaviour. So whether they are aware or not, you're not going to change it for them. They have to be willing and able to change it for themselves. When you're dealing with someone who is self-entitled, who is exploitative, who believes they're superior, who's seeking that excessive attention, who's preoccupied with themselves, who's grandiose, who's arrogant, and who lacks the empathy to care about you, your awareness, you're trying to help them, your awareness of their behaviour and trying to explain it to them to help them become aware and change isn't going to work. They're simply going to see this as you going against them, you having a personal attack on them, you believing you're better than them, you believing you're entitled to something, you being envious of them, which is another one of their traits, their envy. So they're going to see it as you being envious of them, and they're going to twist it in their head of how you're the one that's trying to attack them, and then they're going to look for a way to punish you, to pay you back, to get one over on you, to make you suffer. And then they'll rewrite it in their own mind as to why you're the one that called them out, therefore you deserve their mistreatment. They don't care. They just do not care. They're incredibly envious of other people, and they rewrite it so that they believe that other people are envious of them. They just believe you're trying to get them, and they're going to go all out to get you first. As they're unwilling to help other people, they don't see that other people are trying to help them. As they're willing to exploit other people, they see it as other people are trying to exploit them. When it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, once you're aware of their behaviour, your best step is to just walk away, leave them to go and live their life while you go and live yours. Because the more you try to help them, the more you enable them. And then all they learn is how to get away with it. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a new book out, which is 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People, which is out on Amazon now, and I shall link the link to that in the video description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.